Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're watching this video. Focus for this one is how to complete the square so that we can transform a quadratic equation into HK form or vertex form so that we can state the vertex and the min or max for our given quadratic. Okay, for example, let's say we have y equals x squared plus 8x plus 3. Okay, and our goal for this is to transform this equation, not to change its value, just to change what it looks like into HK form. So into y equals a x minus h, the quantity squared, plus k. Okay, so we will be able to find the vertex for our parabola at hk. And you'll be able to tell me if we have a minimum, if our a value is positive, and we'll have a a maximum for our vertex if the a value is negative. Okay, so let's give this a try. All right, so again, our goal is to transform from standard form into HK form or vertex form. All right, so to do so, we're going to do x squared plus 8x plus something, so that we create a perfect square trinomial here. Plus 3 minus something. So I'm going to add something and subtract something on the same side. So essentially we're adding in a 0, doesn't change the value of anything. Okay, so to create this perfect square trinomial, this part, to figure out what to add, we're going to take the middle term here, the coefficient of 8. Some people will say multiply it in half, or take half of it. I'll just end up saying divide by 2, okay, which is 4. Square that. That number is going to be your adder subtractor. So if you go to factor x squared plus 8x plus 16, you'll find it to factor into x plus 4, the quantity squared. We heard 4 a minute ago. That was our half number, or divide by 2 number. Okay, and then just do your arithmetic down here at the end. You get a minus 13. And we've transformed into vertex form so that you're able to tell me now the value of our vertex for the parabola will be at -4, -13. And in this case, we have an understood 1 in front of the quantity, positive, so we would claim this to have a minimum. Okay, so this vertex would be a minimum point if we were to go ahead and graph it. Okay, so there's one example. I thought you might like to go through a second one. So I have one here. Y equals, let's try x squared minus 10x minus 4. Okay, just to get some negatives into the process. Okay, so again, we'll start out x squared minus 10x. We're going to say plus something. That part's supposed to be that perfect square part. Scoot this subtract 4 over, and we'll say minus something else. So when we add something, subtract something, it's like you're adding in a 0. All right, so we're looking here at this 10. So take 10, divide by 2 is 5, square it is 25. That's going to be your adder subtractor number. So we're going to add 25, subtract 25. Okay, we should have here now, if you factor a perfect square, x minus 5, the quantity squared. Remember the 5 is coming right here. It just works out nicely that way if you check it. And down here at the end, do the arithmetic, minus 29. So we are now in vertex form. And you can say what the value of your vertex is, which is hk. So we're sitting there at 5, -29. Okay, and again, we have a positive understood 1 in front, so that'll say our vertex is a minimum point. Okay, so that's working out very well. All right, so what if we don't have just a nice 1 in front of x squared to start with? Okay, so maybe something a little bit more difficult here, like y equals 2x squared plus 12x plus 7. Okay, so you notice now our leading coefficient's not 1 anymore. So to handle this one, we want to factor this 2 out of the first term and the middle term. Okay, so pull out a 2. So you get x squared plus 6x here. And then I'm going to put inside this parenthesis our plus something. Okay, scoot the 7 over, minus something. Okay, all right, so this works out again. We start out in the parenthesis like we did the previous 2. So we'll take the 6, divide by 2, and you get 3. Okay, square it, and you get a 9. Okay, now this is where things get interesting. Okay, we're going to put a 9 inside the parenthesis. Okay, but really, what have I added here? Just 9? No, 2 times 9. So my subtractor down here is an 18. Okay, so again, 2 times 9, 18. So we've added 18 and subtracted 18. It's just kind of in disguise over here. All right, so then when we break this down and factor, we get an x plus 3, the quantity squared, and then do the arithmetic on the end, a minus 11. Okay, so your vertex is -3, -11, and we have a positive 2 for the a value. For the a value, it's positive, so our vertex remains a minimum point. Okay, and maybe we should do one more of that type. Okay, because again, that one, you really have to pay attention on that subtractor because it's very easy to make a little mistake. Okay, gosh, I don't know, why don't we put a negative in front? How about y equals negative x squared plus 4x minus 10. Okay, let's give that a try. So this time we have a negative in the front. So let's factor out a negative from the first term and the middle term. Okay, so that'll become a positive x squared and a minus 4x. Okay, then do plus something. Let's scoot the 10 over, minus something. Okay, all right, so start with your middle term, 4. Divide by 2 is 2. Squared makes 4. Okay, so I'm going to add a 4 in here. Okay, add 4. But really, remember we've got to multiply there. So negative times this 4 is what? Negative 4. So what do we do down here on the end? We're going to subtract negative 4. I know that feels very strange, but really what's a minus and a minus there? That should become a plus down here on this end. So negative 10 plus 4 is what happens. All right, so to finish it, we're going to have negative of x minus 2, the quantity squared, minus 10 plus 4 gives us a minus 6. All right, so we're at y equals negative of x minus 2, the quantity squared, minus 6. So our vertex is going to be 2, -6, hk. Because there's a -1 essentially out here, that's going to give us a maximum point, because if a is negative, we're going to have a maximum point for our vertex. Okay, so thank you for watching. This has been Completing the Square to find vertex, whether it's a min or a max, transforming things into HK form or vertex form. Good luck with your studies.